You know, I gotta admit, the updates which we have received for War Tycoon last year around the Christmas era were actually pretty huge. That was the brand new map which we received, and then with this we have also gotten the F22 update, which gave us the zoom ult and a brand new bomber, which was really unexpected for them to be adding so many new vehicles. Therefore, in this video I will be talking about 5 updates which I'd love to see War Tycoon actually add this Christmas. And before we start, I'd like to say happy early Christmas to everybody. So firstly, I'm gonna get started with a pretty small one, and this is going to be the daily rewards actually being semi-expanded, because right now we have over 4 weapons which we can unlock in the daily rewards, and then with this we also get 2 new vehicles which, I'm gonna be honest, and they're not very good. However, what I'd like to see is perhaps a 40-day calendar for Christmas where War Tycoon basically adds in the coolest skins, gives us some extra medals, give us extra weapons, and perhaps have one vehicle located at the end if you're gonna be logging in the game every single day. I think something like this would actually be extremely cool, because at the end of the day, this is at the end just getting more people on the game, and this is a nice way to actually monetize for the game instead of actually giving us insane amounts of premium limiteds that we have recently been receiving. It wouldn't be the best Christmas gift in the world, I'll be honest. Now, the next thing which I'd like to perhaps see is going to be a slight map expansion, since that's what we received last December, and the way in which I'd like to see a map expansion is perhaps give us basically like a winter theme across the whole map. I don't think that will be a big issue, especially for a game this size. However, the way in which I'd like to expand onto this feature even more is perhaps actually be making some vehicles which are better all-terrains than others to have a slight advantage in this Christmas environment. I think this would just make the game a lot more immersive, and you would have to watch out for a lot more weaker vehicles rather than the insane meta ones, because like it or not, some of the insanely meta vehicles are actually not insanely good for playing all-terrain compared to some other ones which are much weaker in this game. Now, getting a little bit bigger with this, I'd like to actually see some kind of additions to the bombers in War Tycoon, because right now, as I already said multiple times, the B2 and the B29, and I think there's one more, the Nighthawk, they're all not very good, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I think the bombers as a whole have been treated kind of poorly throughout the year of War Tycoon, so I'd like the year to actually end off with some kind of bomber updates, perhaps giving us the B1 Lancer, or even giving us the B21 Raider. Those are the 2 bombers which people really would love to see, so giving us something huge like that would definitely be really nice. It will make a lot of people actually excited for this update. Now, another change which I'd like to also see is going to be some kind of expansion to the gun camos or skins in general. Like right now, the holiday case is back, it's just the same thing over and over again, they're reselling it, but what I'd like to see preferably is perhaps some kind of dedicated skins to some vehicles which would fit the Christmas vibe. Like, what can we think about right here? We got the M1 Abrams. I was thinking, how about we have a M1 Abrams that's fully decorated, and instead of shooting machine gun shots, it would be shooting some kind of, I don't know, snowballs perhaps. Then the main cannon would be shooting like a gigantic snowball. Something like this will be extremely cool, and I'd love to actually see dedicated skins to some vehicles. Like, they could even make it a limited and even sell some of these for a price, but as long as they're not selling vehicles or anything that's like insanely OP, that's basically going to be breaking the meta over and over again, just like the Seahawk, like the Mi-24 Super Iron, the Apache Longbow, that I don't think it will be that big of a deal to give us some extra limiteds, because from this feature they could make some money, which they apparently really need, but instead of actually breaking the game, they would be just giving us extra cosmetics for a price, which I think cosmetics is definitely a better way to monetize instead of selling something that's insanely OP and nobody else can get it. And now lastly, ending off this video with very highly requested vehicles. Community is always begging to actually receive more boats in the game, so it will be a nice Christmas gift to actually receive at least one big boat which is around the size of the USS Zumwalt. I'm sure people would definitely not mind receiving something like the Yamato, which is just a gigantic ship, or perhaps getting some extra planes which people are still waiting for, like the J-20. I believe there's also another J plane, I don't remember the exact name of it, the F-15EX, X, which is something that has really been talked about in the recent weeks. I'd love to see these two planes actually added in the game, because it's still one of those massive vehicles which are extremely popular in general. But anyway, for the time being, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Sorry for not posting for over 2 days. I have been moving countries, and that's why I kinda need to get back into the swing of things. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and thank you so much to all my channel members.